Morning YouTube, hope everyone's good. Now, Wendy's done a live. I can't actually find the live, but Taff played it today. Now, originally, I did say I think Wendy's trolling or whatever. But I'm not sure, do you know what I mean? I'm not sure. What I would like to know, Wendy did try getting on Easy's channel tonight, but she seems to be having the same problem that she was having trying to get on Taff's channel. I think she tried about 15 times or something to get on Taff's channel, and then about 5 or 6 tonight on Easy's. Whoever's close to Wendy that can direct message or whatever. She bought a Hoover, one of these automatic Hoovers or whatever, and it's connected to the internet. Now, since she's bought that, her reception's been absolute dog shit. So it's worth a try. Maybe do a test run of unplug it, switch it off, deactivate it from the internet or whatever, and do a live or something, because yeah, something's not right. Now, I would have liked to have spoke to Wendy tonight if she could have got on Easy's or whatever. I mean, I would have jumped on Taff's, but obviously Jupiter was there, and I just can't be arsed with none of that shit or whatever. But yeah, if I could have spoke to Wendy tonight on Easy's, that might have been a better thing. I heard Jupiter on Taff's going on about M dash or M dot or something has really got to Wendy or something. Now, if that's the person that has filled your head with all that he was coming out with today, Wendy, I would definitely question. I would definitely be questioning why it is that they would fill your head with such shit. Now, everything you were saying is pretty much what the government would want us to do. They would want us to hand over our sovereignty. They would want us to get rid of our constitution, and to get rid of our monarchy would be removing our constitution. Now, the thing that Wendy's trying to like bring forward or whatever, we've already had it a long time ago, and it didn't end well. It ended in fucking civil war and whatever, to the point where the people that wanted it changed was literally begging to bring it back to how it was, with a monarchy, etc. Our constitution, etc. Now, people need to ask the relevant questions. Fucking hell, why was our government trying to get us to sign over, give away our sovereignty realistically? Now, you've heard people make out like, oh, it's the government that are sovereign, not us. Well, why was they asking us? Why was they asking us to like give them that power or whatever? They're the only things that are protecting us, our sovereignty and the constitution. It is that simple. Now, Taff, to his credit on this occasion, actually took note of what I was saying and did a little simple Google search and proved me to be right or whatever. It has already happened. It didn't end well, like I've just said. Do you know what I mean? Now, like I say, do you know what I mean? Our constitution, I've said this for fucking over 10 years or whatever, our constitution is actually the solution to most things. And yeah, we can hold people to account. So Sadiq Khan, we've got your number. Keir Starmer, we've got your number, and several others. Now, the evidence has been checked by the police. The police have been happy with the evidence, sent it to the CPS, and the CPS knocked it back because it weren't in the public interest. Let that sink in. When the charges include treason and malfeasance in office, and there's just literally a long ass list of charges. I'll put a link to the citizen's arrest that happened in the Fabian Society. And yeah, just take note of that or whatever. Now, it's worth noting that Keir Starmer was the head of CPS at the time. Now, obviously, it's not in his interest to prosecute himself, is it? So, is that the reason it was found to be not in the public's interest? I think so. But, do you know what I mean? We've got a case number. We've still got the evidence. We can still use it on them. And, yeah, we can start removing the rotten wood. It is that simple. We can start removing the rotten fruit from the basket. Now, I'm not saying, do you know what I mean? I'm not saying like we could, a couple of little communities, a couple of little groups or whatever, that won't do shit, realistically. We had quite a lot of people sending letters and this, that and the other that they want to see justice from this case or whatever. So it needs some weight behind it. Now, with Rupert Lowe due to be taking power, which he is, he's going to walk it without a doubt, that would be something to have under his belt to absolutely train wreck these cunts or whatever. Now, it's one of them, innit? We've got to be smart. We've got to be able to deal with the problems in a lawful manner, and that is the way to do it, without a doubt. That's all you've heard. That's all anyone's heard me say for about 10 years or whatever. Now, I heard some of the research that Wendy was doing and whatever, and it was just AI. Now, we've spent hundreds and hundreds of hours not listening to some AI bullshit with a narrative and always fucking incorrect in one way, shape or form. We've actually been reading very old books and studying these things properly to the point where we actually know, you know what I mean? We actually know what will work, what won't work, and how we can hold these treasonous bastards to account. Now, none of that involves doing what Wendy said. That would literally be helping them, not us. So I don't know if it's the AI or some madhead off Jupiter's channel or whatever, but yeah, they're giving you information which is contrary to what we would want. It's actually helping the government rather than helping us. It's giving them an escape route to never getting prosecuted. Now, like I say, I would question where you've got that information from, because something does not sit right with that situation. So yeah, it would be good to have a conversation with Wendy and maybe point her in the right direction or something. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. For me, it's mad because all this information has been out there for well over 10 years. Do you know what I mean? And that's what does me in, because you've got all these people running around ringing the alarm bell, but yet you've got nobody bringing a solution to the table. When we've got it, you know what I mean? We've literally got it in the bag. All we have to do is have public interest behind it. Now, somebody like Rupert Lowe, yeah, I think that's the man for the job. Do you know what I mean? With the general public behind him, if we can get him in power, which I think we will. Do you know what I mean? It will literally be like taking candy off a baby. Do you know what I mean? Everything, all the hard work, all the fucking legwork, all the research and everything, and to the point where we've got a shitload of charges on these treasonous bastards. It's all there. It's all there for the taking. And CMW are not a, do you know what I mean? They're not like an egotistical fucking group or whatever. They've said from day one, we don't give a fuck who runs with it and who scores the goal or whatever. We're not asked about taking credit and all that shit. We just want to sort our country out. Simple as that. Hold these treasonous cunts to account. And we can do that. Now, we've got 3 years run up to Rupert Lowe being in power or whatever. These are just things that we should be putting in line, getting discussed, getting people to the point where they have a reasonable knowledge of what the situation is and how we can deal with it and whatever. And that's it. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't cost anybody any money. It's totally free. So for the grifters, yeah, it won't be much good to you because you won't be able to make any money from it. CMW, I've never been interested in taking money from anybody. They will never take a penny from anybody. So yeah, for me, that's why I've said for fucking years or whatever, the only group I will actually stand on for and fucking vouch for is CMW. They are the cleanest aspect of Lawful Solutions. Yeah, there are other groups doing whatever. They all want some sort of fee along the way. Now, CMW don't do that. And at that point, that's why I will vouch for them all day long. I know the information's correct. If the information wasn't correct, you would have seen the people that did that facing charges themselves. You got to think it happened at the Fabian Society. Now, you've heard Jupiter for the last few weeks or something going on about Fabian Society this, Fabian Society that. She clearly doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. She's just regurgitating shit she's heard off other people or whatever, which we all know. That's what she does. She clearly doesn't have a clue. She was back and forth as to whether what Wendy was serving up was something that we could use or not or whatever. She clearly hasn't got a clue about anything, and she tries to make out like she does, which is dangerous. If you don't know, just say I don't fucking know. Do you know what I mean? And then be educated on what it is that you don't fucking know. Now, CMW, I've literally said there's no such thing as a stupid question or whatever. You know, they're there to help educate the masses on the solutions to the problems and how these things work. And yeah, their door's always open for that. But like I say, do you know what I mean? It's beyond like a couple of little communities with 100 or so people in it or whatever. It's well beyond that. We need millions and millions of people to fucking act upon it or whatever. And then they can't refuse it. It is that simple. We can hold these cunts to account. And I don't think there's many people that are not going to want that. Do you know what I mean? Besides these mentally ill lefties or something, they're probably want to run with the fucking version of events that Wendy's been served up. But if it's not trolling with Wendy, then I like the fact that she's actually turned a corner and looking how you would deal with the problem in a lawful manner while everything's going the way it is, because it's one of them, innit? We can all see what's going to come. There's going to be civil unrest, there's going to be high chance of civil war. I think it's unavoidable. Even with Rupert Lowe in power, once he puts measures in place, we will meet resistance just the same as America did. Now, we should be thinking ahead. We should be planning ahead. We should be mobilising certain things and whatnot. There's a hell of a lot we can be doing, and at the moment we're not really doing that. We're doing the arguing about, oh, everyone needs to join this party. No, everyone needs to join that party. They'll figure that shit out as time goes by, and I think Rupert Law will absolutely fucking end up in a position of power. So we need to plan ahead. We really do. We need to stop with all the bullshit, which is not important, and focus on what is important. It is that simple. Now, the conversation that myself and Easy had last night, it was a little bit fiery or whatever. Just passion, not anger. Easy, do you know what I mean? He's passionate about what he's talking about and whatnot, and yeah, it can be a bit fiery or whatever. But we ended it on amicable, on an amicable situation and whatever. No grudges to bear or anything like that. Now, Taff played that today, and like always, Jupiter likes to put a worthless opinion on these things. Now, I'm not being funny, but I would never accept any advice or critiquing from people that have never built anything, never put anything together, never done anything. Do you know what I mean? Why the fuck would I give a shit about the opinion of someone that's done fuck all when we've done so much? It just wouldn't make sense. Now, we all know people like Jupiter, she's just somebody for jumping on a bandwagon or whatever, and she'll try and please everybody in every camp and whatever, try and lick everyone's arse and whatever, so she can scrape a few views and a few subs from every direction or whatever. We've seen other people doing that, high profile people or whatever. Paul Thorpe would definitely be one of them people. Do you know what I mean? Now, if someone's got conviction, they will stand on something and they will continue to stand on that thing, like I have with the bringing forward the suggestion of using this case, using our constitution, doing all this whatever. We've not put all that research time into these things for nothing. We've not built up a case and fucking, do you know what I mean, took it to the police and the CPS and all that. We've not done all that for nothing or for the fun of it. Nobody's been clicking any buttons to grift off or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? Some people are actually in this fucking movement, and there is many components of this movement. You've got people that are just running around ringing a fucking alarm bell, and you've got people that are looking to deal with the problem or the problems lawfully. Now, for a number of years, do you know what I mean? I've tried to spread myself around or whatever. All different aspects of ringing the alarm, supporting all these groups, whatever, travelling all over the country and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? Providing free security for people. I don't even mean just myself. I'm on about cars full of people going up there or whatever. So, and again, that's all over the country. Just 1 year alone, I spent around £8,000 out of my own money or whatever. I've never asked anyone for a penny, and I never would. I've been offered things and I've turned it down flat. Nobody will ever use the PayPal Patriot fucking stick on me or whatever, or CMW for that matter. And again, do you know what I mean? We're not getting anything out of it for putting all the effort in that we do. We don't want it. We wouldn't want it. We wouldn't offer it. We wouldn't. There's nothing you could do to pay for that situation and whatever. People are doing things out of the goodness of their heart. Now, I get it, that's a rarity these days. Most people are eager to put some sort of financial gain to it or whatever. All these different grift buttons and shit that you can press. We've avoided that like the plague, because we knew we'd end up where we are now, where people are being called PayPal patriots, blah blah blah. So it is what it is. It's there, it's ready, it's waiting, and when we finally get our shit together, unite on enough things to be able to stand together, then hopefully we can use these things to the benefit of all of us. It is that simple. It won't cost anybody a penny. There'll be nobody getting scammed out of fucking shit like you would do with Graham Moore. That's just literally a prolific scammer. Just talk the good talk and then don't actually walk the walk, or when he does walk the walk, he walks off with a big pot of money that he's grifted off all the useful idiots. Now, all I'm trying to do is steer people in the right direction and get them to avoid the wonky cunts which will just run off with the money. Now, I think you will struggle to make me a bad guy in any situation, going back as far as you want, because, well, that's what I've done. I've tried to keep people on the right direction, trying to keep people from not getting scammed by all kinds of fucking shit that's going on, and yeah, for the betterment of everybody. That is it. Do you know what I mean? Now, I couldn't give two fucks. I couldn't give two fucks who likes me, who doesn't like me. It's not important to me. I've got enough people in my actual real life. Do you know what I mean? This is online. This is fucking YouTube or whatever. I've got people inside the movement and outside of the movement which I speak to on a regular basis. Do you know what I mean? There is lots of good people around. Lots of people have come away from certain situations for their own reasons and valid reasons. Now, when myself and Easy was having a chat and whatever, it was brought up about Tom Zero. Now, Tom Zero, for his own reasons, has come away from Team Tommy and whatever, as have many other people. Lots and lots of good people have done, and is daring to open the boxes that we've been told, oh, you don't look in that box, you don't open that door, we don't speak to this one, we don't speak to that one, and inferring that everyone that's part of this or that are far right Nazis, blah blah blah. Now, when you actually do open the door and open the box and you see what these people are actually saying, you see what the opinions are of these people, it's just not what it's been made out to be. So at that point, I would encourage everybody to just make up your own mind. Now, if you look on my community post, there's a Dino Bain channel, there's a Vindicator channel. They're two channels just to have a look at in general. Now, when they're running lives and whatever, you're talking like 1,000 people plus that are watching these lives, so they're not just dead little channels. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, everything I'm seeing, I'm liking. Everything I'm hearing, I'm liking. And I can see lots of middle ground for things that people would agree on and think, yeah, I'll stand together with X, Y, and Z or whatever. This is, exactly what we should be doing or whatever. Now, I'll put a link from Easy's channel for anyone that missed it. It was a good discussion. Like I say, it did get a little fiery or whatever. It ended amicably, and I think we both needed to sort of like air what we was, air our thoughts and opinions around certain things and whatever. And like most conversations, even when it gets a bit fiery, you'll both kind of end up on the middle ground where the things that you do agree on and whatever. And for me, I'm happy at that. Do you know what I mean? If I can make easy question a few things, then that's a good thing. If he can do the same with me, then that's a good thing. And somewhere in the middle, we'll agree on lots of things or whatever. Now that's how I work. That's how I fucking, do you know what I mean? That's how I operate, if you like. And it's the right way of doing things, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? We need unity. We need people to... You can have subtle differences of opinion and this, that and the other. As long as the things that you agree on are important to everybody, then that's something to work with. And that goes across the board. Now, people will always try and twist whatever's been said and whatever, so I'll recap it. For all Tommy's done, massive respect to him, massive respect to Tommy and his family for putting up with it. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of fucking stress. I'll always respect him for everything he has done, but as of recent, some of the things that have gone on and whatever, nah, I can't co-sign that or whatever, and I can't say yeah, I support that or whatever. Now, Tom Zero's actually called certain things out himself, and Tom Zero has done the camera work for the Rape of Britain and whatever. You know what I mean? He's like been quite close with Tommy and whatever. You would have all seen videos where he's sat in a car with Tommy several times and whatever. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? Myself and Tom, we have bumped heads a little bit in, going back in history or whatever. We have bumped heads a little bit, but it's one of them. I know that Tom's heart is in the right place. Do you know what I mean? I know that he's doing things for the right reasons. Some people say, oh, he's trying to jump on a bandwagon, blah, blah, blah. It would have been much easier for Tom to just sit with his present community and build back his 20,000 plus channel or whatever, which was